Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is VlogsBoutNothin. Thank you very much for watching the videos. I really appreciate it. This is my channel. We talk about nothing. It is what it is, except when it isn't. I don't know. All of these really clever sayings and all of these little quotes and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to make vlogs about nothing. These are all improvised speeches, nothing scripted. It's really fun. It's also really difficult because if you mess up, you got to start all over again. Or you just mess up and keep going like I do. Regardless, I guess there's a way to deal with it. But tonight I want to talk about something. Okay, here's the thing. I want to address this situation with the most amicable, unbiased sort of way of doing that I can do. We talked about on the program here recently the importance of making good decisions and the fact that we live in a world where people exploit one another. The same world we've been living in the last few thousand years, in case you haven't read a history book. We're still in that world. And often people do things that are too good to be true. And so we talked about that, I think last night or the night before, that if it sounds too good to be true, it is. It's not just probably. There's a very, very 99.8% chance likelihood of it being too good to be true. And so, I am a huge proponent and advocate and lifelong lover of Mary Jane. I've been smoking since I was 2. That joke's never gonna get old, by the way. It comes from Chris Rock next Friday. I mean Friday, but I've been smoking since I was 10. I really enjoy me saying that publicly. In no way, shape, or form would I ever condone any youth smoking any product earlier than an age of which informed consent can be provided by that individual. So, I can't lie and say other things because then that would just be a lie. And I don't very much like lying. So we got to keep with the truth. But I started smoking a long time ago. And one of the things that I've learned from my many decades of hanging out with Mary Jane is that things can be deceiving and things can sometimes sound too good to be true. I want there to be regulation as it concerns all of these novelty products that are sold currently within our borders because it's all a scam. I don't very much appreciate being scammed, being a part of lives where other people are being scammed. And again, it does nobody any favor, service, or provide them anything of substance that will make their lives better. So, for example, on the program, we've talked about all these fanciful new deltas. I mean, Mary Jane's been around and smoked for hundreds of years, but now all of a sudden we're hearing about all the different molecular makeup of how marijuana is marijuana, right? I mean, let's make things more complicated. Let's not just put it in some paper or put it in a bong and smoke it up. Let's make this as complicating as possible. Okay, let's go there. So we're going there. In the past, we've talked about this new fad of Delta 9 and Delta 10 and Delta Million and Delta 500,000. Delta, does anybody GAF? No, they don't. No, they don't. Nope, 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 nobody cares. So, what people do care about is price points, convenience, and authenticity. So, when you introduce a large part of a new population into the mix, considering those three aforementioned ways of being successful, then oftentimes you'll have the recipe for success as it specifically and categorically concerns the exploitation of people because of legal loopholes or the failure of public policy to properly regulate an industry. Right now, I can think of 2 industries that are in very much need of regulation because of the loopholes that have been exploited now for decades. One of them is obviously the vitamin and supplement sort of industry, an industry clouded in mystery, and one that is not regulated by the FDA or any governmental authority as it concerns its overall safety, and the claims that labels make, or manufacturers that put on the labels make when you use their products. I wish vitamins and supplements were regulated by the FDA. I wish the FDA had enough staff and resources to really evaluate the kinds of products that are being sold out on the market in that industry, because again, it's all a scam. You know, it's just so much as THCA and Delta 9 and all of these other variants of a plant that's been around for thousands of years, but because people want to make money, because people have an incentive to sidetrack the law. There's nothing better, right, quote unquote, than being an entrepreneur in this country, just slowly guiding on the boundaries of what's accepted and what's not. It's like, oh, the federal government literally says I can't sell marijuana through the mail, so I'm gonna be I'm gonna be more clever than the government here. I'm gonna be a scientist and decarbolize the weed and pick it before it's harvested so that I can then sell it as a product. Brilliant! I tell you, it's brilliant! Why has nobody ever thought of this before? We are geniuses. Okay, so to all of that, you know, I mean, wow. Guys, don't buy any other products as it concerns the consumption of your Mary Jane than the places that are already just barely loosely regulated in your local community. Don't buy products that don't do anything for you. I mean, would you rather buy a few pounds of fresh cut mulch? I mean, what are you doing here? What are we doing here? How does that make sense? How does the sale of THCA make any sense to anybody out there? Seriously. It's beyond frustrating. It's beyond frustrating. How do you explain to people that they're being suckered? That the product that they're buying is less valuable than an actual bag of mulch? An actual bag of mulch you can, you know, harvest real plants from. A fake, dried up, reminiscent sort of idea of what a plant could have been before it was picked to have it shipped to you so that you can figure out how to make it work. Oh man, there's probably nothing more infuriating to me right now currently in the contemporary of my modern daily life than to see people being taken advantage of with Mary Jane. And I just at some point it's sort of like talking and yelling in a very loud and crowded place never really gets anywhere. But that's why policy is needed, so that people don't have to be scammed because of their unknowing and or unwillingness to understand what they're spending their money on. Like, seriously. Dispensaries, ladies, gentlemen, they, them, are permitted in most places now. Kratom and THCA and CBDZ and all these other ones, don't buy them. Stay away from them. Lawmakers, policy makers, please ban the sale of all of these shady novelty MJ whatever it is. I mean, I can chop up some grass too, put a fancy label on it and say this product was evaluated at Albert D. Guillen Laboratories in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Its THCA content is 42%. It's like, yeah, I literally, I can do that. You know, I'm not going to because I'm not doing that kind of stuff. But hey, to each his own. I seriously have my questions, but you know, people buy kratom. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure anymore. I'm not sure. Best I can do is, you know, publicly advocate for people to not be dumb. That's all. Please don't be dumb, guys. I mean, I know you're probably going to take that and be dumb anyways, but just know that there's somebody in your life telling you not to be dumb and you're still being dumb, and that's just kind of indicative on you now. You know, it's kind of out of my court. But I did, in fact, tell you. You know, had an interesting conversation yesterday with somebody at a bus stop, and you know, I think we both had the common agreement with just the kind of when you tell somebody something and they still freaking do it, it's on them. You know, I mean, seriously, it's even just takes this much energy to sort of remind you to use your brain, you know, but it is what it is. I can't really blame people for getting scammed, right? Because I've been scammed more times in my 36-year-old life than I could possibly ever even begin to remember. And that's not exactly a good thing. I know I'm not going out of my way, nor do I do anything that would elicit the kind of scammy, you know, mentality that sometimes I've visited or I've seen in my life. But I will tell you again that like there aren't many benevolent causes out there, and I've never met a benevolent THC dealer, whether that's out on the streets or you know, in a dispensary. In terms of it is a business, you know, and there aren't any dispensaries, you know, out there just sort of pushing out the good old MJ word. I mean, everybody wants some money in exchange for something, you know. Everybody wants a make-believe paper exchange for something real. This world is unreal. Regardless, don't do it. Don't fall. Don't jump on the bandwagon. Don't jump off the band. However you want to take that, do not buy any other THC products in your life than those sold at brick and mortar places that have licenses and that have a physical presence within your community. Because if you do, just understand that you're probably not buying what you're thinking unless you can independently verify whatever sort of scientific claims these made-up laboratories give as it concerns the content of THCA. I am at a loss for words. I think that it's a big scam. And again, I'm not the guy. I'm not, like, look at me. Look at this. This is not, you know, made up stuff. This might be entertainment, but I've probably spent more on MJ in my existence than most people have on a home. You know, whether or not, like, I'm not exactly proud of that. Weed should be way cheaper. You know, I'm not the bad person for needing medication to want to get through sort of the dailies of, you know, this existence. I just am not a fan of lying. I'm not a fan of exploitation. And I'm not a fan of companies turning good people into peddlers of their scams. Not at all. Not a fan. Don't care. DGAF. Like, seriously. Like, seriously. If you want to teach good people good stuff, I'm all for it, right? I'm all for it. But, like, leading good people down a bad path is legit the definition of, like, some real evil kind of stuff, you know? And, again, if you're a part of that segment in the population, stop. Stop supporting businesses that don't care about you, that you can't trust, and once more are not selling you anything of value. I mean, come on, guys. You want to send me hundreds of dollars for sending you bags of grass? Send me on over the money, you know? Like, Except I really, even given the opportunity, wouldn't do that because it's just classless and what a garbage way of living, you know? Holy potatoes. Like, who does that? Who does that? Who grows an entire warehouse of marijuana to cut it down prematurely to sell to you? That's not a thing. Nobody does that. You know, I need to see this Vice documentary on these THCA producers. They're doing the world a great service, right? They're growing weed before it's ready to be actually turned into weed, and then they cut it off and they send it to you. You know, it's like, what? Okay. I mean, it's like going to McDonald's and getting a half-cooked burger. You know, it's sort of like, it's cheaper. It's cheaper this way. It's $2 cheaper if you buy it half-cooked. But then you got to take it back to your crib and cook it yourself, dude. You know, and hope that it provides the same kind of experience that it might have if we had just cooked the whole burger for you. You know, I mean, I don't know. Let's do that thing. Let's do those things. Let's do that. Seriously. You want a large fry? Sure. Take away 8, please, and have it reflected in the price. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But I will tell you that THCA, CBD 9 million, all of these other Delta 9s, it's all BS. It's all a scam. And unless you just, like, I don't know, go to church. They scam you there too, but at least people tell you at least some good things, or quote unquote good things about, you know, what's going to happen the next hypocritical week of your life. I don't know. You know, I don't know what to tell you. Burn it. I mean, flush it down the toilet. Throw it out the window. You know, do anything other than support people that seriously straight up lie to you, have no track record of trust, and just because they slap some label on a bag, like, seriously, we're there now. We got to argue about, like, whether or not, like, labels on products are accurate. They're not, you know, they're not. I just, unless you've seen where it came from, you know, unless it came with a video testimonial as to, like, the arrival of its designated arrival, it's just sort of like, yeah, I don't understand. And I feel bad for people that get scammed out there. Seriously, it's really a bad look. It's really a bad look. It's really a bad look, especially if you're older and younger people are telling you not to do it, and then you still do it. It's a really bad look because, like, you're doing things that make 0 sense, that provide 0 real tangible benefit, and are literally a waste of money. You know? One could argue that I'm a waste of money, but hey, at least I'm still trying to do stuff to get the money back. I mean, you can't really get money back from products that you buy and that are completely worthless, sit there and nobody uses, right? I don't know. I hope that you guys have a really good night, and tell all your friends out there, again, to stay away from these products, or not, you know, whatever. But I know that I will never, ever, I mean, you know, I'll spend money on mostly anything, right? I mean, but it sort of gets me when, you know, I don't know. I'd rather spend my fake money at McDonald's, or, you know, getting tobacco even at that point. Holy potatoes. This show does not condone or endorse any kind of tobacco consumption and or anything at all like that. But seriously, whatever, you know, whatever. It's not regulated. I'm just gonna go cut some fool's grass tomorrow, throw it in a bag, put a label on it, and say this is THCZ. You feel me? It's THCZ. It's you gotta do all this stuff you're on your own, but this is some THCZ, and it loosely goes around the law. It's a loophole. It's the same thing. It's not at all. But if I've really convinced you that that is in fact the truth, then hey, somebody out there is doing their job well. Holy potatoes. I hope that you guys have a really good night, and don't take my word for it. Like I said, you'll find out. You'll find out. You know, you think it's a deal to order a pound of some THC shake, you know, for a few $100s? Get that. See how long it lasts you. Probably forever, because you're never going to smoke it, because it's awful. It does nothing for you, and it was a complete waste of money. So, I hope that you guys have a really good night, alright? Bye.